Alright, bro, I've had enough of this. And so has Simply. I've been sitting on this Simply video forever. I'm curious. This is Mario 64 Speedrunners' weirdest tradition. Oh, speaking of Simply, wait a minute. Guess what video just came out on this channel? Oh, no. Oh, it's the one. It's the one. Yo. We won. Oh, am I not subbed? Oh, what the f?
Mario 64 speedruns are weird. And no, not just because the game is weird. It is. But because the way that we play it is different. What's weird about Super Mario 64? Well, looking at the leaderboard, you notice all the top players run on Nintendo 64. Now, obviously, there are very good players that you will find on the Wii version of the game. People that play on emulator on PC. But the top of the top players, the people setting world records.
He put himself up there.
In the game are using N64.
As a top guy, already, come on.
The N64 is the slowest version of the game. There must be a reason why these runners are intentionally going slower. Because of the way Mario 64 speedrunners do things, there has been some drama in the past, which I will cover because it's a funny story.
I just said I didn't like videos where somebody just talks to the camera, and here I am watching Simply talk to the camera. I love Simply.
Of the different versions that are available to
I can watch him talk forever.
You have, on N64, the Japanese version of the game, the English version of the game. You have the European PAL version of the game, which is complete dog shit. Runs at 25 frames per second. It is literally a meme category to run it. The 70-star world record holder, D whatever, can do 70-star in 47 minutes. And he got the world record on the PAL version. Guess what time it was?
What was
Barely a sub 1 hour. He got a 50.
The world record is an hour. I actually want to play the PAL version. How much is the PAL version? Could I is the Nintendo 64 region locked? It is, right? I'm kind of curious. What's the 16? I gotta see a 16-star of that.
You have the updated Japanese Shindu version of the game, which patches BLJs and slower load times. Beyond that, looking at the emulators, you have the Wii Virtual Console, you have the Wii U, you have the Switch.
That was on the
and
Wii U,
you have, obviously, PC emulator, you know, Project 64, etc., etc. The Switch version, I played it. I made a video on it. That was the only reason that I played it. It was terrible. It has the Shindu version. BLJs are patched. It was a clickbait video, and that was it. It feels like shit. Somehow, the Switch is slower at loading than the Wii.
Why would you patch out BLJs? That's so weird. And I know it's like LOL Nintendo moment, but why care? Right? Isn't that extra work? Because it's a bug? But I guess so. They added Rumble? Mario 64 with Rumble sounds weird. They didn't patch Sunshine skips, which is weird. Well, was there like a newer, like, if the new Switch games are just emulations, right? Is that how it is? Like, is it one of those things where like the newest ROM had that patched out and they just switched it over? Okay. The patch version already existed. Got it. Okay. That makes more sense.
And like I said earlier, the Wii is very fast. It saves nearly 2 minutes in 120-star and saves a very noticeable amount of time in the other categories.
It's a wizard.
So why not just use the Virtual Console Wii version for S64
Maybe try to pretend.
You see, back in the day, you know, when I was just a wee lad playing League of Legends and I didn't even know what Mario 64 speedrunning was, Japanese players were running shit. They were popping off.
Oh, no.
They had mostly been at the top of the leaderboards. And back in the day, it was pretty difficult for Japanese runners to get their hands on an English Wii because the Japanese version of the game on Wii was the Shindu version.
What is Shindu? But what's a is it just BLJ's out?
Western runners, however, had it very easy. Most people had a Wii on their hands.
BLJ
All you needed to get was the Wii shop.
He just said that 3 minutes ago. Yeah, but I wasn't listening. I was talking to you.
So most Western runners use this. Eventually, out of those Western runners, Siglemic, a name that you may have heard, you may have not.
I have heard that.
He's the reason that I even play this game. He rose to the top of the leaderboards of 70-star and 120-star and realized that the Wii was much faster. And so, in order to compete on even ground and really see how good he is at the game...
That's a really weird pole grab animation should do. Is that the one where he spins around? He showed that.
He switched to N64. Now, huge shout-outs to Gothic Logic for giving me this information. About 11 years ago,
Did his hair grow, or does it just... Well, how far apart were these videos filmed? It's like a month later. He definitely filmed the first part, and he sat on it for like a month. Like, I don't want to edit this. I don't want to put this. I don't want to have to send this out.
In a YouTube comment section,
I'm sure it's just like
Honey. Honey was one of the best Japanese players at the time.
One of them is like after a shower or something.
And Siglemic commented,
That's really
I
funny.
like it. please do more 120? To which Honey replied, I want to, but on N64, it is too difficult to beat you. And Siglemic replied, I will play N64 Japanese now. Isn't that just a wholesome moment?
Neat.
Doesn't that just butter up your biscuit and make you want to cry all over it?
It does.
Doesn't
do
it make
all
you
of
just
that.
want to cry? Tears of joy.
I'm close, yeah.
God, it's so wholesome. And most runners who were able to get a world record would be on N64. It didn't really seem worth it. Obviously, you had to buy the N64, buy the capture card, etc., etc. So for some people, they would stay on emulator. Me, for example, I started on emulator. I played on it for over a year before switching to N64. My very first paycheck I got from my first real...
These are two different people. This simply is about to come out of the screen. One of these guys is a projection of my mind and is going to reach through the screen and rip out my eyeballs. Something bad is about to happen to me.
I blew it on
This is
an
like
N64,
a poltergeist in my computer.
Just became,
Which one is
it kind
real?
of became the thing. People were on N64 because the better players were on N64. Now, aside from being a slower version of the game, the N64 does have some differences that put it above the Wii version of the game. On the Wii, you can sometimes experience lag. This isn't lag from the game running, it's just Wii lag. It just happens. Sometimes the game just freezes. It's really stupid, but it does happen. Also, it's washed out as shit. I mean, look at the HUD. The HUD looks bad. The colors, bad.
Yeah, that's
The Wii
ugly.
shop isn't even open anymore. If you want to play on the English Wii version of the game, you need to homebrew your Wii. Another part that people don't talk about as much, which influenced Japanese players to play on N64, is from the years 2000.
I feel like this simply just woke up. He seems more like I don't know. Maybe he's sad. Was he sad? It's the hair. It might be the hair.
Play on emulator. It was the most common version that people played on. However, there was a huge problem with cheating going on during this era.
Cheating?
The community has looked back on some runs set in 2009 and 2011.
Two that we know of.
Now that
maybe the editor is another
level emulator runs in that time frame were either cheated or under heavy justified
40
suspicion.
suspicious
And so
runs?
this also caused a big push for Japanese players to move to N64. But the biggest thing at this point, fast forward to
hell no.
now.
Now he's taking
We
the
are
other
in
Simply's thunder.
2022.
Get out of the way,
Easy access to
black
Wii's
shirt
or
Simply.
PC
I'm coming in.
emulators. Why are runners still playing on the slowest version? Well, I think the biggest thing is it's kind of just been tradition. It's weird to... Well,
I saw the projector too. You think he's projecting himself? This is a holographic Simply. This is a projection.
Playing on the slowest version. Well, I think the biggest thing is it's kind of just
Dr.
been
Wily
tradition.
shit.
It's weird to forget all of this work that's been done on the N64 version of the game. And the only thing I can think of to compare it to is in Super Smash Bros. Melee, there's a technique called L canceling. Some people think L canceling stupid and dumb, probably because they can't do it. Other people very much enjoy L canceling. I am an L canceling enjoyer because it adds depth to the game. It gives you more
Fun
chances
canceling.
to fuck up. But in the case of L canceling, in the case of leg reductions, I think it is a technique and a skill that is just as important as anything else in the game, and it sets other runners apart from other runners.
How do we feel about L canceling, chat? What is our feeling? I used to hate it, but then when I played PM, I was like, I get it now. When I played PM, I was like, I kind of understand. It's like dribbling in basketball. That's always the analogy people use. It's probably similar to the way that I feel about like edge hogging and like edge guarding. I don't care about L canceling one way or the other, but I understand why people don't like it. And I understand why people don't want L canceling, but
It's a way for you to gain an advantage over other runners if you're willing to put the work in. That does not exist on Wii. That does not exist on Emulate. All that aside, the fact that even nowadays you can use advanced practice ROMs on an N64 console, I don't think it'll ever change. I think, personally, it just feels good to play on the original hardware. No knock on anyone that doesn't.
it does.
I think
It feels nice.
It's actually a good direction for the community, because when I first came into Mario, it was kind of toxic. There was elitism. People would kind of bully people for playing on Wii or playing on emulator. And I think nowadays the community's more accepting. There's great players on all platforms. Even though they could potentially just take the world record with a different version, most runners don't do this. This did happen at one point, though. So get your popcorn ready, get your chips out, get your tits out. Back in August of 2013, there was a very good speedrunner named Hyacinth, who speedran on the Wii Virtual Console version of the game. And again, like I said, there was elitism back in the time, so he definitely, you know, people did shit on him for continuing to play on Wii VC, even though he was capable of beating the actual world
Coney,
record
I'm
at the
gonna
time,
get my tits out.
which
Listen,
was a
you can do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. Just don't
he
do
finally
it in
beat
front of
it.
chat, okay?
He got the first 143 in 120 star ever. People were mad because this wasn't the real world record. It was on Wii. Didn't people know? He was saving 3 minutes. This was more like a 146.
How big is the Mario 64 speedrunning community at large? Big? Really? Massive? Really? I don't mean like casual viewers or simply fans or like whatever. Like, it's the biggest speedrunning community. Yeah, but how big are we talking? In speedrunning terms, huge. Yeah, but speedrunning's super small. It's like 5 times the size of every other community other than the Minecraft. Yeah, but relatively, like, Discord of 20k people. 20k active? I guess that doesn't matter. Damn, and I was top 1,000 in my category. Oh, pretty good.
And Siglemic actually had a Wii still set up because he used to run on the Wii version of the game. Hyacinth got this 143.37 on August 18th, 2013. Can you guess what happened on August 19th of 2013? Siglemic made an alternate account called Based Earn God 333221. Now, if you don't know about the dank memes back then, the only real meme that I can remember from back then is Tet Earn, which just saying it makes me cringe. But just to give you context, Based Earn God basically just means based. I mean, I don't know why I'm explaining this. It doesn't fucking matter. Either way, he made this silly name account with this cool timer layout, inverted colors on his SM64, and he beat the world record that Hyacinth had set the next day with a 143.22. Okay. Nowadays on speedrun.com, all of the leaderboards are separated, and so you would have Virtual Console world record, Emulator world record, and N64 world record. However, back in the day, it was all on one leaderboard.
Oh,
so
yuck.
that's kind of why this happened. Okay. Runners realized that, okay, if you want to get a world record, you're going to probably have to get it on N64. And if you get it on Wii, then whoever has it on N64 is probably going to come clap your ass. So basically, we play the slowest version because it's harder. Now that I say that out loud, it makes like even less sense. But yes, we are intentionally making things harder for ourselves because it's fun. And the game is good and fun and fair. Sense. Remember that, always.
Neat. I was gonna say, whenever I move my camera to the side to do the submarine trick where you load in less stuff, I always feel like a technical god because my fingers have to like go over. I have to like claw grip it, and like I have to turn it a little bit. I always feel very strong when that happens.